We need it. Oxygen. It's why we breathe.
All right, everyone, here we are again, another week of Small Biz Buffet. And I'm very excited to bring in someone who has coached me and given me tremendous support, guidance, and direction. Not just, there, Laurelyn. Yes, Laurelyn, but like, no, why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Haven't you thought about this? And you're like, ah. This is Mary Adelman. She is a coach, and Grow with Green Star is the company that she has. And she works with a lot of different agencies dealing with all of the problems of small businesses who come to her. And so she's had a lot of experience working with, I wouldn't want to count them, Mary, how many small business clients you've had. But why don't you introduce yourself? Give us your opening line. Who are you? What are you good at?
So, welcome everyone. My name is Mary Adelman, and as Laura Lynn indicated, my company is Grow with Green Star Services. We are a small business that has been in existence for over 20 years, and we focus on business strategy and growth. We help businesses from startup to existing multi-million-dollar companies. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I love to see the success of my clients. It just warms my heart. And I become part of your team. When you work with me, I am part of your team. My eyes are on lookout for whatever it is that you need to move your business forward. If you need a connection and I have it, I'll help you connect with it. If there's a resource or grant funding available, I will connect you. So it's growwithgreenstar.com, and I look forward to chatting with you today. Thanks,
Excellent.
Lorlyn.
All right. Well, let's dive into it, right? You've seen not just 20 years of businesses, but I think things have really shifted in a tectonic kind of way, pre and post pandemic. What are you seeing out there in the land of small businesses and owners? What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? What's trending? Give us the lay of the land.
So what's happening is businesses are having to pivot like they had to pivot during COVID. And what I mean by that is you have, a new regime in office. You have tariffs that are being put on business, natural events that are happening that are raising cost on vegetables and fruit and different things like that. But you also have people that are not spending the dollars that they would normally spend for the services. They're figuring it out on their own. So, how do you pivot? I'll give you an example. I have a client. She has a commercial kitchen. She prepares meals for senior citizens, and the individuals are on Medicaid. So, with Medicaid being in an uphill roar right now, she's like, all right, what do I do? Because some of their services got cut. So I said, now you need to put in place things that they can afford, that you can work with any of your customers. She also does cooking classes. I said, go in and put a $40 cooking class in place for a family. They can cook a meal for four. She has soups and things like that. So that's what I mean by pivoting. It's like you really need to think out of the box. And the other biggest piece is the customer experience. That customer is no longer just, oh, they came in the door, I'm going to sell them something and never talk to them again. You have to be up with them nonstop. So it's a newsletter, it's on social media, it's hosting an open house once a month in your shop, or a recording where you're sharing information. It's allowing them the resource on your website to turn around and put, if they have some advice for you that they can input and you can follow that. You need to be touching that customer. It used to be 7 times. It's probably 21 times right now, because that is so important, because they're hanging on to their dollars. So you want to be able to touch them and set those systems up. It's not hard. It just requires, time that you're allocating for it to get it done. If you can't get it done and you have a teenage child and you can give them a script to follow up with them, give them a script to follow up with them. If they're a longtime customer and they come into your business, and give them a discount, 10% after 5 visits or 20%, whatever it is, you know, create package deals on certain things that you do. You want to be able to engage the customer and have the conversation. So when they walk in, you stop doing whatever you're doing. Do not go hover with them, but pay attention to them. You know, talk about how was their day? Are they looking for something specific? You know, here's a resource that might be able to help you, or talk about good news events. There's actually a newsletter with good news in it that you can get put in your inbox every single day. So you've got to get creative.
And can I add, put your damn phone down. If I'm
Yep.
coming into your store, your phone needs to be down. Like it just
Yep.
does. There's
Mhm.
that piece of it. But the corollary of what you said and these small business owners and stuff that I see, it's just fostering this increasingly, I guess, desperate sense of overwhelm where
Yes.
because you have to touch your customers not 7 times anymore, but 21, and you've got to have the newsletter, and you've got to be on Instagram, you've got to be on Alignable, and now Blue Sky's out there, and now you've got it. Like it's just, oh, like how do you keep up? We're all running to stand still.
So
And
the way you keep that up, Laurelyn, I believe, is you partner with other business owners and you craft one newsletter that it gets rotated. Everybody puts a paragraph in about their business, and their business can complement your business. So if you're a restaurant in a downtown or you offer cooking classes, that would be a good partnership. If you have a business that does gift baskets, that would also be another good partnership into that. If you are a service-based business, connect with an attorney, accountant, and yourself, and you got a very wise newsletter that you're putting out, and you're not doing all the heavy lifting. So it's co-branded with all of the businesses that are in the newsletter. And and whose account do you put it in? You guys discuss who you want to put it in, and you come up with the format and the logo to brand it. All your logos across the top, so you have visibility that way. You know, social media is a little bit different. They can share on yours and you can share on them, and you just keep sharing the information, and it it's not such a heavy lift.
you are spot on. I think that's an excellent idea. I started doing this with my YouTube. It's like I can't come up with all the flippin' shows here, there,
Mhm.
the shorts, the reels, the right. So I teamed up with all these other hosts who have complementary skill sets, not competitive, and we're all targeting the same market so that we can amplify each other's reach by bringing different bits of relevant but different perspective, different niche, things. I really think that that's what we have to all do more of is lean on each other, right? And figure this out.
Mhm.
That's a key thing there. So looking at all of this, what skill do you think business owners really need today? What do you think is that critical skill, either that you've developed or that you believe other business owners need to have in today's economy?
The ability to listen and to follow through on what you say you're going to do. Because now more than ever, if you're not listening to what the customer is saying to you, where they're like, well, this hour doesn't work for me. It's like, okay, make a mental note of it, but then follow through on, okay, we're looking at exploring this. And the other piece to that is the financial piece. There are so many small business owners that do not understand their numbers, and they don't even pay attention to their numbers until it's too late. There are enough resources, free resources, that you can take advantage of. I just learned of a program this week, actually, and went and changed my whole system to this because while I've been in business a long time, I don't do enough business to pay the monthly fee for QuickBooks. So it's not even worth the effort.
Yeah, it's
So
gotten
the
high.
program, it's getting very high. So the program that I was shared with me is called the bookkeeping dollar. And the way that you get to the bookkeeping dollar is through the website, the sheetcode.com. Um, and it cost me like $8. And it was amazing. And it has where you put your income in, where you put your expenses in, gives you the monthly reports, gives you the quarterly reports, shows you pie charts like QuickBooks does, all for $8. Um, and I'll share that with you guys because that was a game changer. And
I just,
I literally had my whole year in an hour done.
oh my God. Yeah. I looked it up and flagged it like, note to self. Mary suggested this. And because you had always wonderful suggestions, introductions, all of that sort of stuff you said. So hear that, listeners? Check it out. The sheet code.
Yeah.
All right. Now, talking back about you,
Mm-hmm.
you've evolved as a
Mm-hmm.
coach. You've evolved and seen what else, everything's going on in the world, everything from what's happened under new administration at the government level to pandemic and that ripple effect to perturbations in the market, right? Economic fallout, you think 2000, 2009 in there. How has your definition of success changed?
I do what makes me happy now.
Okay.
I don't just take a client for taking a client. I have to believe in what they're doing and I have to see the drive in them, but it's really what is making your heart sing and driving you to keep moving forward. So is it the success of the business owners that you're working with? Is it the success of or the joy of baking or the joy of designing or, being creative in that moment? There are many careers and businesses across the country. Is there a passion? Do you love to knit? Well, that makes you happy. You got to be happy with it. You can't, because if you're not happy with it, you're not going to do it. And it's going to become an angst and it's going to cause you stress and you're going to eat like crazy and you're going to go, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's not what you want. So you want to
No.
do something that's going to make you happy. And I think as I've gone through my career, there has been stepping stones that I've gone through, but I'm finally at a point in my career that, okay, yeah, I don't want to talk to that type of person anymore. They're just too physically draining. Like when
Mhm.
I'm done with them, I feel like a wet dish rag, and we all have those people in our lives. We all
Yeah.
have customers like that in our lives, and you do have to deal with them, but it's like you can mitigate how many of those people you have to deal with. So just do what you want to make you happy.
So spot on. So bringing that back and saying, okay, Mary, you get a magic pen. You get to tell yourself something. You're going to give yourself a note for that first day you started your business, Grow with
Mhm,
Green Star Services. What
mhm.
would that note say, given all that you know now?
Don't just take the first job that walks through the door. Value yourself
Hmm?
first. Hmm.
So if you had that now wherewithal, right, looking back, looking forward, reading the tea leaves, seeing
Hmm.
what's going on in the marketplace, and I said, okay, you had $1,000 and a laptop. You're going to
Hmm.
start a new business. What would you tell your
Hmm.
client to do? They said, okay, great. I love entrepreneurship. I've got $1,000 and I've got a laptop. What do I do, Mary?
You build your online presence and you find one quality networking group and you work that group because that group has the connections that can spread you very quickly in the marketplace. Once they understand what your value proposition is to the market.
Ooh, that is so good. As someone who has spread herself as thin as the last bite of peanut butter on a very large piece of toast. Oh, I'll be in this network group and I'll do this one and I'll do this one. And you know me, the squirrel, right? That is me. I am the squirrel,
Mhm.
as most entrepreneurs are.
Mhm.
And I've learned, and there's a couple of groups that I really like, and I have almost narrowed it down to one. And I just think that is what's key because I'm pulling my hair out. I got to be here. I got to be there. Damn, I missed that one last week. And then you're paying whatever it is per month, and then you miss that one. And then it's
Yeah.
just, oh, can't do it.
And the other thing too is when you look at a networking group, literally look at their membership. What industries are they in? What type of clients do they see? Do they work with? And the industry is more important because if that industry is not an industry that you are targeting, then you're not going to get anything out of that group. So if it's a contracting business, you want an organization that has real estate agents, that has insurance agents or CPAs, because they're working with the general public if you're doing residential contract. That's your marketplace. If you're doing manufacturing and you're networking with those types of people, you're not going to get anything out of there. You need to be working with a networking group that has distribution, has um, production, is tied to like the Manufacturers Association, that type of thing. So
Oh,
really look at the members that are there and see if it is in alignment with what you want to do.
now that sort of queued up some of the mistakes, like I said, I've made or others have made
Mhm.
where you spread yourself too thin and you're in too many different groups or you're in the wrong kind of
Mhm.
networking groups. So beyond that, where do you see that red alert, like near business owner, hey, don't do this? What are those mistakes that you can say, stop now, just stop? What would you say?
That they're just spending money like water, or they go for a loan and they really haven't thought about the loan consequence.
Hmm.
If you don't have a revenue stream coming in, and let's say during COVID, you took like an idle loan, and so many businesses did this. Well, now they're paying the consequences because they can't pay it back.
Yeah.
And that affects your credit, both personally and professionally. So, really understand what your business is requiring. And if I've had people come to me and say, oh, well, this is a good idea. It's like, well, did you do the research? Well, no. I'm like, okay, so what are you basing that good idea on? Or you're in business and you are so linear in your thinking that you don't have the capability to think out of the box or to listen to anyone, and you're not going to be in business. Just plain and simple.
It's a huge thing. I have a partnership that I'll be announcing soon about market research that within 3 days we get answers from 300 people within your market to guide you. Do this, not do this. So just really quick, pulse it, get you on track, then get things to the next level because it is missing. Things have
Hmm.
changed. Your market has changed. What your customers want has changed. How you message to them has changed. And if, like they say, if you're still, selling batteries in Radio Shack, a la 1980,
Yeah. And
problem,
then
right?
the other component, the big component in this is the AI has shifted the business marketplace
Yeah.
tremendously. And people are kind of dabbling in it, but they don't understand it. So that market research, that partnership that you have, but they also don't know about the free resources that are out there, both on a state level as well as a federal level, that business owners don't take advantage of. And you and I both know this. It's like our heads down and we're focused on our businesses and we're not worried about anything else. So we don't go look for help until we actually are in panic mode.
Yes.
And one of the goals that you should put for yourself is at least once a quarter, go find a resource that's not going to break the bank, but will give you what you want. So if you're looking at that market research, through the New Jersey Clicks Library or through any library across the country, go see your reference librarian. There's a database called Reference Solutions that you can look at your competitors, look at their revenue, the number of employees, where they're located. You can look at who your market is on those lists, all for free.
Amazing. See, audience, Mary knows stuff, right? This is why we're so excited to have her on the show. All right. Having a little fun with this now. What is the wackiest or most counterintuitive bit of advice that you've had or you've given to one of your small business clients, but it actually freaking worked?
I pondered that question and I really had to think about it. I had a client that she was a tutoring company and she was doing events and she had no money. And she's like, what can I do? And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Let's go do some research on what she can do. Well, a long, long time ago, I was at a networking event and a colleague of mine talked about this one book. I encourage everyone to go get this book. It's a $15 book. It's called, oh my God, 7 Steps to Free Publicity.
Ooh.
And in that book, literally, we came up with her idea. And the idea was we created a bookmark that she could hand out, and she printed them right on her own printer, and she sent them to Staples to have them print them, not on expensive paper, a heavy cardstock. And on one side, it had her company information, and on the other side, it had 10 tips, study tips for kids. And that was it. It was the biggest success in the event, she told me. I was like, okay, that's a little off the charts, but okay. And then another book is 6 Steps to Free Publicity. That book actually has, excuse me, that book actually has in it where you have a business card, and in that business card, what happens is you literally will turn around and put your business card in a library book that you take out. When you're done with it, use it as a bookmark. When you turn the book in, put your business card back in the book so the next person that takes the book out sees your business card.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So 2 amazing books, 6 Steps to Free Publicity, and the first 7 Steps to
I'll have 7 Steps to Marketing, I think it was. Let me Google it for you while we keep talking and I'll find it.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, we'll keep moving on here. And one of the things actually you inspired that question, wacky and counterintuitive bit of advice, and I'll share with our viewers and listeners. Mary said, if you've got toxic people in your life, ice them. And she was literal about it. Ice them. She put their names in, put it in this baggie, and it's all frozen in water. And you can see it's a little bit melting because we've been doing the show here, but it'll go back into the freezer when we're done. And I put the names of the people that were toxic in my life on a professional and personal level. And do you know what? They're gone. Like, it is wackadoodle, totally wackadoodle. But what the amazing thing is that with those people gone or nearly gone, I have been able to have that focus. Again, this is hard as a squirrel when you've got to sit down and focus. I mean, I can do hyper focus and not breathe for 8 hours and just do one thing, but at the same time, not, oh. So having that freedom of thought where I didn't have that toxicity gnawing at me, you're not doing this. What about this? Yeah, you know, I feel like I am finally poised to really move forward. And it's totally counterintuitive and weird and wacky, but it works. All right. Did you find that?
I did. It is the 6 Steps to Free Publicity, and the other book is A Referral of a Lifetime is the other book. So
Okay.
the Referral of a Lifetime is about a real estate agent who has no idea how to sell. She's connected with this gentleman through networking, And he shows her how all the connections work and how by connecting her to this person, how it's going to grow her business. And by the end of the book, she gets the whole premise of it. And it's like, that's what networking is. And when I started the conversation, I said to you, follow through on what you say you're going to do. And that's the premise of that book.
There
And
we
it
go.
works.
Yep.
And it works.
You referenced New Jersey libraries and referenced
Hmm.
librarians who are just fantastic
Hmm.
people. I've got a bestie who has her master's in librarian sciences, and I am a huge consumer at our public library. I know all the gals there, and they're wonderful about it. They get the books that I like this latest one, so I didn't have to buy it because I just got rid of almost 300 books. And I'm like, I can't keep buying them because I eat
Hmm.
business books for breakfast. This is the let them theory by Mel Robbins is fantastic. Just let people be whomever they're going to be. Like water off a duck's back is really the message. But I go to the library all the time and they're wonderful about it because they get the books that I need. So use the library. Folks out there, you don't have to spend fortunes on Amazon as I have, only to donate them all back to the library for them to resell in their book sales. But yeah, there you go, right? It works. We help each other. All right. So, looking at competition, I think this is something that most small business owners don't do. They either do the ostrich in the sand thing where everybody's selling makeup. I can't do it. Or they go, I don't know. So, what do you think? What's your advice in and around looking at what the competition is doing?
So again, I'm going to reference that reference solutions because you can go in and pull who are in alignment with you from an industry perspective that are around you so you know who's there. But I'm not saying like be the stalker for those businesses. Um, Set up a Google alert. If you know that business is your competition, put a Google alert up and just when they hit the news, you'll be notified so you know what they're doing. Um, and your competition changes. So again, as you have your business plan is a living, breathing thing. And it becomes part of your strategic plan as you age in your business. And every year you should be revisiting that plan, looking at the competition because new people come in and things change. The new software comes out, things change. But on the competition side, yeah, there's going to be competition. But if you're doing what your mission says you're doing and you're hitting a level of expertise and credibility in the marketplace and you're delivering on what you say you're going to do, your competition can't touch you. And that might sound arrogant, but somebody is going to do business with you that they know they're respected and you're going to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver.
Right? Own your lane, right? Really, really.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. So that sounds like great advice that should go into business classes. I'm not seeing that in some of the
Hmm.
entrepreneur accelerators and things like that. What else do you think is missing on a topical level that should be offered as instruction for these rising entrepreneurs who are taking these classes?
And I'm going to give you another book, and everyone should really go get this book if you're in business. I don't care if you're a startup or an existing business. I touched on this before where business owners do not understand their numbers. They don't even look at their numbers. They don't track their numbers. They're not analyzing, oh, I think I'm going to go hire somebody today. Well, you didn't even look to see if you had the money to do that. So
Mm.
there's a book called Managing by the Numbers. It's all for small business owners, and it should be everybody's Bible, literally. Um, are there software tools out there that can help you do that? Absolutely. Um, if you don't understand the numbers, go get a coach. Go to SCORE, and have a conversation with a financial advisor. That's a free resource to you. It's your tax dollars at work. So utilize them. They'll sit with you until you understand them. They'll help you do the projections. You can't grow the business if you do not know your numbers. Plain
I
and
have that
simple.
book. I've read it. It is an easy read for a lot of it. Then, of course, there's parts that you get a
Yes.
little bit more into the weeds, right? And how you're managing your balance sheets, your
Hmm.
this, that, your indirect, direct costs, all that sort of good stuff, cost of goods sold, all those fun things. But it is really a very, very good book to read. It certainly helped me a lot to just frame everything where I needed to look at things a little differently than I was. All right. What else would you like to tell our audience?
Don't try and do it all yourself because you can't. You need to identify the roles and responsibilities that you can take off of your plate that allows you to work on your business and not in your business. So whether you're hiring an intern or you have an 18-year-old child that you want to put to work to give them that work ethic, you can do that. So you really need to look at the process of your business. Like, how does that happen? And if you are a one-person business owner shop, and you really need to look at the systems that you can put in place and what can you automate to make your life easier. So if I come to your website and I want to do a consultation, well, yeah, you can do an intake form, but that intake form is going to require me to make a phone call to set up a call to meeting with you. So instead of doing that, exactly, set up a calendar link right there, let them go schedule it on their own, and then have the conversation. If you have forms that you're required the clients to complete before they come in to see you, put them on your website. Let them go access the forms to complete and have them ready when they come in. And once they hit that enter button, it gets sent to you and you're prepped for the session. You know, if you're a restaurant or a retail shop, and do you have e-commerce? Do you have, where people can pre-order stuff to pick up and they just walk in and pick it up and they're good to go? Doesn't mean they're not going to stop and browse the store. It's just easier for them and easier for you because you can do it on the downtime. You know, do you have days where people can come into your shop? So it's like looking at those things that you need to be able to implement to make your life easier.
Oh, bingo, bingo. That is where I have been focused, actually helping folks with that and their tech automation, especially the solopreneurs, because there are but so many hours in a day, right?
Yes.
All right. Last question, Mary. If we looked into your closet
Mm-hmm.
and we looked at all your footwear in there, your sandals, your flip-flops, your sneaks, your all that stuff, what is the footwear that best personifies you, Coach Mary Adelman, all you do, all you like, who you are? Describe it to us and why that footwear is you.
I would have to say hiking boots because I love to be out in nature. It's either hiking boots or sneakers, but I tend to go with the sneakers if I can, but most of the time it's the boots. Um, Nature gives you the opportunity to clear your head, and you need that space and that downtime to process the development of your business. And if you don't take that time, everything that's firing in your head becomes loud noise
Yeah.
and you become overwhelmed and you basically just shut down because you can't do any more. So out in nature, hiking, gardening, even cooking. I mean, cooking is like mindless, but it's very therapeutic, you know. And working out in the garden is really good, and hiking is good because it raises your awareness, it heightens your senses, and by heightening your senses, it allows you to connect with your customers, your strategic partners. You're hearing like that undertone that you normally wouldn't hear if there's so much chaos going on in your head.
Oh yeah, forest bathing. Right, so I do.
Yes.
I miss it. I haven't done any forest bathing lately because New Jersey has been pretty much under siege for
Yeah.
months by Mother Nature with
Yes.
winter. What's that? It's not supposed to be like this. But
Yeah.
all that said, Mary, how can people find you? Where can they find you?
So you can visit me on LinkedIn, and it's Mary Adelman at LinkedIn, or you can go to my website at growwithgreenstar.com and fill out a contact us page, and I'd be happy to chat with you.
Excellent. So, Mary, thank you so much for all you've done for me, that all you do for all of the small business owners and that out there, just really sound advice and direction, right? This is what we all need. Do this. And you've given us a wonderful reading list, which just as I was in the process of purging my bookshelves, I think I'm going to have to make some more space.
Thank you, Laura Lynn. I really appreciate the opportunity, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Mary.
And how about that fantastic intro by Touch Circle?